Hey, I am Anna Hoviller and I talk about how to live by choice.
When I set up my professional homepage, I poured my heart and soul into it. It felt like a piece of art I had finally put out there. Upon this insight, I made a powerful choice. No feedback on my homepage. I had to protect what I had created, or I probably would have taken it back down right away. At first, it felt horrible. I had a guilty conscience for days for actively asking people not to give me feedback. But then, what had begun as self-protection soon turned into a rule to live by. Because it wasn't just that nothing happened and the world kept turning. After a while, I somehow felt so much more confident than I used to. It initially felt like something highly forbidden because feedback is considered such an all-important thing in our society. We are taught to strive for perfection from a very early age. Everything from grades to popularity amongst peers teaches us you are not enough. And the way to improve this? Get feedback and act on it. Now, feedback isn't always an institution from hell, but it's crucial to form the following distinction around it. Imagine you sit in a bubble. In this bubble it could be just you. It could be you and your horse, or you and your coworker, kid, spouse. Within the bubble, you bear responsibilities to handle feedback and find ways to truly understand each other. However, you are free to apply the no feedback rule to anyone outside of the bubble. Hint, you'll be surprised how few people really truly are in this bubble. Just, why don't we normally realize this? So many of us firmly believe there's the perfect version of something out there. I vividly remember how I myself used to spend so much energy or desperately trying to satisfy contradicting inputs, never questioning once there must be the perfect solution. Well, there isn't. Of course, there's such a thing as the perfect answer to a generally approved piece of knowledge, such as 1 + 1 is 2. But the more complex and personal things get, the less clear the path and the less likely a perfect solution even exists. There is a simple rule of thumb I'll introduce right here. As soon as feedback ultimately keeps you from doing what you want or need in order to grow, you'll serve the world more by declining it. This is all you really must know. Curious about the reasons? Continue to watch. Since we usually haven't learned to trust in ourselves, we absolutely underestimate our own abilities to strive and to improve. Even if there isn't an objective perfect goal, we intuitively do know very well where we want to get to individually. And you know it better than anyone else because only you know all the factors. Simple example, only parents spend 24 hours with their newborn and definitely know it best. When we then accept feedback of people who only know part of the picture, it automatically makes us insecure. You might not even feel it right away, it's rather like a hidden poison, because outer validation and security make us feel safer in the first place. The more opinions you get, the more of a safe manual you have on where to go next. In truth, you often get carried away from your inner self, from your core, from what you really want and need to grow. Again, the more complex the matter, the more likely this is. And it doesn't even end with this. Since you lose the connection with your inner wisdom, you'll become more goal-focused and enjoy the journey less. It's not your very own journey anymore, but it's partly externally directed and it does start to feel less authentic and it's less rewarding. So even if it's very challenging short-term and probably makes you feel alone and insecure, long-term it's so much easier to have an enjoyable and powerful life if you decline feedback outside of the bubble. You maximize your potential to serve anyone, the world, by bringing out there what's uniquely you, having a strong sense for your purpose, ways and strengths. P.S. Stay tuned for giving the right feedback within the bubble next week.